And hello, everyone. Gabe the Izzard here, back at another state park. Here, just a short drive from my hometown of Little Rock, Arkansas, at the Plantation Agriculture Museum. And there is a dog that is sniffing around. We're gonna go in here and check out the second state park of the state park tour extravaganza that I and my lovely wife are trying to accomplish. So, follow me and follow Mama Dog and go ahead, tag along. First, we're gonna pop into the visitor center.
Hey, how are you today?
Pretty good. How are y'all doing?
Doing good.
Good.
Well, like I said, if you have any questions for me, just let me know. You'll see a lot of things on the history aspect of farming, so that's what we're kind of here and going to tell that story.
So this museum kind of details the farming in this area from back in the day. Back when you had to use mules and donkeys. Inside the museum is an array of farming equipment and old school equipment you would use around the house, a loom and wheel. The ladies would make fabric. As you can imagine, cotton was the crop, and it's not all soft. It has these little prickly seed pods. So it's not the easiest thing to do. Cotton farming was a family operation. Everyone would be involved. I come from a family of cotton farmers. I never farmed any myself, but my grandparents and their children did. Here is a Eagle 10 saw cotton gin, which would kind of work your cotton to make it into take all the burrs out of it, because this is what you're dealing with. They come in these little pods, and they always have these little stems and stuff in there. You got to get all that stuff out. And here's a wagon and a bale of cotton and a scale that would be used to weigh the cotton to determine the weight to sell. Whoa. And this, my friends, is the oldest cotton bale west of the Mississippi River. And I wonder now who has the oldest east of the Mississippi River. Here's some of the household items: the wood-burning stove, a butter churner, and an automatic butter churner. Well, you had to twist it yourself. Meat grinder, and an ice box where you would put blocks of ice into the ice box. Keep your products chilled. And here is a corn husk broom. Here's a stove, oven, fresh baked cookies. Here's an array of ladies doing their job, feeding chickens, baking, peeling potatoes, doing wash. Started out with a washboard. Then you had the old ringer. And then this one. And then they started to get more automated. That's whenever you live in high cotton. So this is actually two buildings. One is a general store that was built in 1912, and the smaller one here was built in 1929. And then in the 60s, Robert Dortch converted the building to a plantation museum. And then the state park acquired it in 1986. I'm going to start this self-guided tour along here. They have little placards to show what agriculture was like. This is a cotton pin. So this little mound where I started the video was actually a train trestle. At one point, it's elevated. There's a few cars right there. And this shows the Cotton Belt Railway from Texas all the way up to St. Louis. Little Rock was just a spur off of the main Cotton Belt Railway. We're about to walk in the Dortch Gin exhibit building, which is right here. And it's got a couple fake mules out front. This is the cotton gin. I have no idea what all of this stuff does. Wheels and tubes. I'm sure it's to move cotton all around. Lots of big wheels and pulleys and belts, all working in a series to do work. Just to let you know, this is handicap accessible. Here is an elevator down there. But here is the gin. And all of its glory. This is preparing the cotton for ginning. You bring it through this machine, and then it has the removing the cotton from the seeds, which is these brushes and ribs and hullers and saw blades. That's what's going on in these contraptions right here. And shoots through these tubes. It is very cool in this building right now. Collecting lint for baling. And they would bring it over here. And this is where the bales would be made. Press it down. Wrap it in burlap. And then lower it down. And this is a huge swivel. So you could twist this whole operation around. More sprockets and belts, gears. And even back in those days, they did not want you smoking. And then hauling off the hay bales, or the cotton bales, with mules. Chilling. Powering the gin with a diesel engine. That is impressive. Most impressive. And so, you would have to move that stuff if you didn't do it by mule, you did it by railway. And there's a couple box cars right there. Probably get to walk through. The history of the seed warehouse. 1948, Robert Dortch of Scott constructed a seed warehouse number 5. It accommodated his expanding commercial seed operation. This location was chosen because of the access to the highway and to the Cotton Belt Railroad. Passed through this St. Louis Southwestern boxcar. This is where the cotton would be placed. Entering the seed bin for a little history. There's the man right there, Robert Dortch. My parents lived on Dortch Loop for a good long time. Here is a cottonseed delinting machine, which we kind of saw in the gin over there. Mama dog is wanting to say hi. Yeah, you're ripping my stomach off, dog. Cotton wasn't the only crop. There also was soybeans, corn, rice. Of course, Arkansas is the number 1 rice exporter in the nation. Wheat and sorghum. Building is pretty impressive. Large amount of seed would be kept in here, and a lot of work going on. Ain't that right, Mama Dog? You can see here through the floor, that's where the auger would be, bringing out the cottonseed. Double spiral separator. Here's that bird's eye view. We are not in that building right there. We are actually in one further this way, but if you pan over, there's the visitor center. We parked right there, and the seed bin is just right there. But that one is still standing. Here's a hopper. And that would move product down this way. Bird's eye of the seed bin. Dirt dauber. Do you know Boxcar Billy? No. Boxcar Billy? This is the backside of the seed bin. And that's a chute that load up the wagons, or you would suck it out. There's no tractor. It was an intake and discharge, so that's what it says right there. And then, of course, the old tractor. A very comfortable seat. One heck of a machine. And here's the baler right there. Here's a piece of machinery. Grater. Looks like somebody would stand up here and twist things and turn things to get this to operate the way that they wanted it. Being pulled by, I'm assuming, a tractor. Pretty heavy piece of equipment. Or it might be on the railroad, because it has, I have no idea. It's a cool little railroad car. You could putt down the rails. Better than those old kind that you used to have to push up and down. This is the historic tractor exhibit. Many, many tractors. Look at the tines on that. You would need something like this to dig through the mud around here. Another one, the big red wheel. Painted green. And here's an old steam tractor. And it would have a bin here. It would suck up the cotton. It's a thresher. Another steam engine. Geyser Works. Peerless. Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. American made. From 1910. Here's a cotton picker. Can you imagine? Shoved in between those tines and shredded to bits. There's no hay baler. And another harvester. Basically just drive down the row and everything shoots in there, separates, and then ends up in that big bin back on there. There's where the person would sit and driving along. Here's a pull-behind harvester. Same kind of concept. Shoots into the bin. And then this one actually is a cultivator. It's a tractor with cultivators. Look at that. Hooks on this wheel. It's really digging through some stuff. And like I say, the most comfortable seat in the world. Here's an old Ford tractor. Made in Detroit. And that is one big fan. There's a nice little picnic area right over here. The family's taking advantage. And a little low-lying lake. There's lots of those around here because the Arkansas River is just right over there as a crow flies, less than a mile. And again, here's the visitor center. Pretty cool little thing to check out. You can knock it out in about an hour, as I just did. Gonna walk inside and see if there's any souvenirs. I saw a couple little knickknacks, but there's no charge to the Toltec Mounds, which I did in the previous, and there's no charge in the Plantation Agricultural Museum. So I'm gonna walk in, see if there's anything, and buy something if I can. Nothing in particular that I really wanted to purchase, but that's okay. So check number 2 off the list. On to number 3, wherever that may be. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. I love a nice brick wall. Later.